Well, I tell you, I came with a completely clean slate when Catherine invited me. I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do, and I had no experience really other than photogravure, which is a completely different process, although it involves aquatint, which I did come back to with this. I had no experience with how to make marks on the plates and then color them up and print them. And so I spent a week, I believe I spent the first week just piddling around with materials and seeing how they printed out. What I decided to do over the course of the 2 weeks was to work on a pattern of some kind that I could, where I could move the plates around and move the color around the plate and work with layering. And and as I recall, I picked up a book over the course of the 2 weeks on camouflage patterns, and I believe I've always found camouflage to be beautiful. I think the appeal of camouflage for me and for probably a lot of artists is the fact that it's a pattern with a purpose rather than being just some sort of decorative pattern. What I did over the first week of playing around is I just sort of decided what I liked and what felt good. And so I loved aquatint, just this smooth, even surface. So I laid a ground of aquatint. I've worked a lot with this brown color here. It's kind of a craft paper bag type of color, and I think it's a beautiful color, and I like the ubiquity of it, how much a part of our lives it is. And so I chose that to work with. And I think because I was thinking camouflage, I thought of earthy tones. And another plate that I made for this, I made by just taking a paintbrush and blotting the plate with resist. Since I made these prints, a lot of the work that I've made seems to echo them a little bit. Some of the paper, the way I've approached working with silkscreen and three-dimensional form, those pieces really speak to these prints. But I haven't really, I just think that there's something really sculptural about the process of making prints. It isn't just the material and the big presses and the beautiful viscous inks and pure color. There's something also about breaking it down, you know, breaking the process down. You know, not for someone else, but for me. I think someone else who draws habitually could just sit down with a sharp point and a plate and draw on the plate and come up with something really wonderful. My work, my brain has to think about it in a certain way, and whether that's an idea or whether it's just a sort of a guide for me or a framework, I do have to start somehow with the right approach rather than just sort of constantly flowing.